Hey guys, this is John.
And Ali.
And it's another episode of the Meatgistics podcast where we continue to replace Austin with Ali.
I'm permanent now.
So
this is just the way that it is.
No. Him out and sliding her in.
I can't wait for Austin to listen to this because he's going to be so mad. He's like,
will
no,
not
this
like
is
that.
not your
Yeah.
thing. And I'm
He
like,
will
no,
not like
it's
that
not my
comment.
thing.
We're just kidding, Austin. We will welcome you back as soon as you're back. So Meatgistics podcast brought to you by Waltons. We've got a shorter podcast probably today.
Depends on how much we just start talking.
Yeah, because there's really not a bunch of things going on in like meat stories. I grabbed some like kind of weird ones and then a bunch of wild card ones. But those wild card ones, we go through them so fast because, like this one, river otter attacked and dragged a child underwater, wildlife officials say.
No.
Which is an awesome story, but there's not a
No,
lot I can
hold on.
But,
add to
okay.
that.
I can't think of another segue, but speaking of kids, I got to go get mine in 15 minutes. So just,
Okay.
so it's a fun way to not even put a damper on the podcast. It keeps going. So I'll let it keep
I don't
rolling.
remember
Fun
how
never
that-
I'll be
ends.
back,
Oh,
so-
you're coming back.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All right, cool.
Great.
But no, a river otter grabbed a child off the bank, took it and dragged it underwater. The
Why are you
mom-
smiling right now?
Because it's the story's amazing.
No!
What are you talking about?
Wait, we don't know what happens.
Right. The child doesn't make it, obviously. No.
Oh my
the
gosh,
child
no!
does- The child's fine, Allie. The mom went in, grabbed the child, and took it away from the otter. The otter continued to chase them up the bank, biting both of them. I love this story so much. People think of otters as just like these. Oh, it's so cute because I see it in the, in the zoo and it uses its hands. Giant river otters are like the top of
Uses
the
its
line
hands.
predators in the Amazon. Like they harass caimans, crocodiles, anacondas.
But if dangerous, then why so cute?
I know. It's a very cute animal.
It
But
is.
I just like the fact that it was like, nope, I don't like that child. And then drag it under. It
What do you
just
think?
bite it,
We all know kids. What'd the kid do?
right? Did
Let
it throw something
really
at it?
Throw something, look at it weird, or like grab it or pet it too hard like a cat?
It could just be that it made too much eye contact, right? Like
What-
I always tell people, don't make eye contact with Brutus.
Yeah.
Like,
By the way,
some animals don't like eye contact.
this might be TMI, but that exact animal, river otter you're talking about, I saw one when I was down in Houston at their zoo or whatever they kind of got going on. And I was walking on some bridge, and so like I have like a an eagle's eye view of it down there in its like enclosure. And I was like, oh, it's going to the bathroom. Oh, look at that. and not only that, it then proceeds to then like it thinks it's burying it, but it's not. It's just smearing its hands all over it. And then people then continue to just like try to feed it later
Right,
and stuff like
grabbing
that.
it
And I'm
and
just
eating
like,
it.
oh, dude,
Yeah.
just, oh.
They don't care, man.
Ugh.
They don't care.
Yeah, so not a sweet, innocent creature.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was my favorite wild card story of the day, so I figured we'd.
Oh, it's a
The-
reverse order podcast.
We're not
Love
even
it.
doing wild card first. I just wanted to get to that one.
Oh,
I was too excited to go on to it.
rattle through all of them. It's like we're starting with the Z's. Going
But that's
through
what we
the
were just saying, that they go so fast because generally there's not a bunch we can talk about with them. So
The worst part about that, though, is like, I'm not as concerned about the child. I am concerned about the otter because it's so cute. I'm
I
like,
know.
but is the otter
We hope
okay?
it's okay.
It's a villain, but is it okay?
Unless the kid was.
Unless the
throwing
kid
something at it,
was-
right.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
Why does this feel like a
possible.
Harambe story?
Doesn't feel like the juice is worth the squeeze.
Poor Harambe.
Yeah.
All right, so I am past halfway point on my eating nothing but Cajun sausage
How you feeling?
diet. There's been some ups and downs, to be honest. Just like
Mostly throw ups.
if I
and sit downs on the toilet.
sit downs have been, yeah.
How many
Um,
pounds?
I'm down 10 pounds.
No, how many pounds of meat were you?
Well-
Oh, 44. I started with.
10 pounds.
I'm down 10 pounds, and I've been drinking plenty of beer. So if you want a diet where you can drink beer and continue to lose weight, just eat a bunch
This
of
is just
sausage.
like give it 3 more months, and it's just like no. John kept losing weight on accident because he had.
This is
Yeah,
where we're going to
colon
add in the
cancer or
disclaimer. We do
something,
not
right,
recommend
yeah.
eating a diet purely of andouille sausage.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend somebody do this. But yeah, I cooked a batch up at lunch today. In fact, we were just talking about my grill is still on at home, I think. That got me down to a total left of, I think it's like 17 and a half pounds, something like that.
So I saw this video, I think it was yesterday, and I don't remember if I actually sent it to you. I was on the Walton's account, but it's a girl eating 100 hot dogs.
Yes. Yes. you said
Super
that to me.
fast.
That's insane.
in a row.
And it can't be real.
Oh,
It
I think it's
can't be real.
absolutely real.
I don't think it is.
Absolutely. And she's putting you to shame. You could finish that andouille sausage anytime you wanted
No,
to.
no, no, no. The difference between an andouille sausage and a hot dog is the difference between a grizzly bear and a
Gorilla.
gorilla. Yes. One is clearly better than the other. No, there's a huge difference. It's the difference between a redwood and a pine tree.
Fair.
Like, yes, they're the same thing, but they're not.
How many sausages do we think you're eating grand
God, I
total?
have no idea. 44 pounds. Say there's at least 4 to a pound,
There
right?
you go. Four times.
So quarter.
160 something.
Okay. So she's eating 100 hot dogs in
That are this wide around and
sure,
probably this
sure,
long.
but in one sitting, like
She's
just
a-
real
she's
fast.
a lady, okay?
She's a nice lady. She's a classy lady.
Oh, I'm sure.
She's
Yes. That-
eating some hot dogs real fast.
Anytime you think of someone eating 100 hot dogs, class is the first thing that comes to my mind.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm sure she goes and puts on her
Yeah,
sable
What
cape
outfit would
and-
you
right.
wear if you were about to eat 100?
Oh,
I'm sure she
very
was wearing a
stretchy
crop
pants.
top.
Yeah,
you know.
very stretchy pants
Like,
and
do you have a
a
t-shirt in mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have a hoodie ready after, just put on and go wallow in misery because it's gonna suck. But yeah, so I'm should be done with this soon. I'm very much looking forward to being done with this. Today is National Cheeseburger Day, so we made up some cheeseburgers. We did them with the quick patty maker because everything that we post on social media on that goes nuts.
Yeah, we're up to like 8 million views
Yeah,
on an
oh,
Instagram that
it's-
was posted a few days ago.
This morning was 8.5 million.
Golly.
Old reliable.
You know how hard I worked my whole career to get things to go viral?
Yeah.
And this is what goes viral?
But it goes viral every time we post
Yes.
it. Like it's not, and we post different angle. Like they're different videos. We don't just keep posting the same video.
We're
Well,
close.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
It's the Loch Ness monster of sausage making.
it
equipment.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
It literally makes no sense.
It's once you hit an algorithm just right, those like social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok will look for one thing to do well. And once it's recognized, they give you extra points every time that you post that same thing over and over again. So
But
people will get famous
why?
on TikTok for one thing and they can never get famous for anything else because of the
It
algorithm.
likes the taste of that fruit, not that one.
Right, but I don't understand that. Like,
Why? I don't know.
why don't they want
But it
people to
is-
find different things?
I don't know. How do social media work? don't know.
You've got me.
How do you do?
I don't have
know.
the slightest idea.
Yeah, what are we at now?
All right, so on that video, it's 8.8 million, and the one we just posted a couple hours ago is just 2,000. So the
It was just
2,000 one
2,000 after a couple hours.
is more reasonable.
Yeah, but after a couple hours, that's not normal.
No, that's true. It's usually like 2,000 views on a reel is what we get.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll monitor that one with great interest. We had a coupon code up there for a while, but not many people used it for a free Ultimate Shaker with a purchase over $50. Coupon code's already expired. So what do you think about sous vide cooking? I see you're looking at something.
Yeah, I didn't mean to pull this up, but okay, I have mixed thoughts on it because I used to sous vide stuff all the time, and I love it. It's so easy to do.
But
The thing that I thought about recently is I was like, well, it is cooking something in plastic. Is that bad? I mean, I don't put plastic into anything else that I'm cooking.
I mean, it's food grade plastic, obviously. So,
But what does that mean? I don't know what that means.
I mean, it's not
It's
the same
the
as
best quality microplastics.
Mm.
your
it's
money
not the
can
same
buy.
as like, plastic wrap on a sandwich or something.
Yeah, but is it
Why
what is
not?
it?
Why not?
BPAs?
No.
What is that? What is that acronym? Is
BPA.
it BPA?
Yeah.
So it doesn't contain those.
Nope.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Who are you? Why don't we get an expert on this?
Because I've seen I have the documents.
Yeah, come on.
I've
where's
seen
the-
our because we get this question.
Well,
a
my
good
question
amount.
is like you said the one that like comes on like a bun or something. Like, what's the difference in those plastics?
Yeah, that's just-
what makes one food grade. I guess is the
Mm.
So like that plastic is just it's extremely thin. It's saran wrap. It's just like very easy for something to separate off of that and stay on your food. This is
Yeah.
designed for long-term storage. It's 3 mil thick. It's like this is what it does.
Okay.
So
Okay. So that's
it's a reasonable
Yeah.
I'm a
concern. Though.
skeptic.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
can tell
think-
Patrick's not buying it.
So it's
Not a
just
fan.
thicker, man. Hey, throwing up my peace signs back here, dude. Like, what are you talking about? You had the floor. Tell me how it's food grade, and you couldn't rage and cajun me, and I'm not convinced. So,
Raging.
James,
You wanted
Carville,
me to go unconscious,
I
basically.
wanted you to
and-
go. Yeah, debate me, man.
What did I just say?
Yeah, hold on.
No,
floor is yours.
no. No, I mean we've had this question before, so we have
Or they spray
documentation
it
from our
with they spray it with
vendor.
penicillin, or what's going on?
Delicious.
Definitely.
So now you're yielding to the expert.
Wait, but
Okay,
there
cool.
isn't there dry cured sausage that's covered with? Is it penicillin? There's penicillin.
Well, with different molds, yeah,
Yeah, and that's one of them.
sure.
Okay,
I think it's a version of penicillin.
it's
That's like
white.
Mhm.
Yeah, the first time that I went to eat one of those, I think it was my dad was with me at a cured meats room, and he was like, "Hey, just don't eat that side of that. It has penicillin all over it." And I was a child, and I was like, "What do you mean? Am I gonna eat?"
But I won't have
Are
polio.
you
Medicine?
allergic to penicillin?
No,
Okay, so you just don't want to take in extra antibiotics.
I
basically.
guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to get so mad at my ex-wife because she would stop taking antibiotics before it was done. She's like, "I'm fine now." I'm like, "You're
not the way that
taking
works.
for everybody else, so that you don't create a strand of what you have that is then resistant to bacteria or to antibiotics." I'm like,
That's why.
yes.
Yeah.
Could have used you in all my classes growing up.
That's how you develop
drug
antibiotic
resistant.
resistance.
Yeah.
I love
'cause
how
you-
like I'll
you
believe
knock
I'll
something.
believe this, but you're plastic.
You knock something
nonsense.
down, you don't kill it,
Uh-huh.
right? So then
It
you
gets-
transfer it to somebody else, and they try and kill it with the same thing. And it's like, no, somebody already tried to kill me with that.
So
That makes
Michael,
sense. That makes sense.
Michael Myers, his knife doesn't work once he tries to hit you with it. That's
If
like-
you if he fails to kill somebody,
yeah, then
and
he
then
gets up, and then he
someone
goes
else
to kill
comes at me
someone
with a
else.
knife, and it's like, no,
Oh,
somebody already tried to kill me with a knife. It doesn't work.
I love that. All right, tell us in the comments how John is wrong, and then we'll free shaker over $50 spent.
All right. Favorite Walton story. It's something I asked both of you to think about. Patrick's got to go, so he's not gonna. You just want us to not touch anything.
Patrick says he doesn't have a story.
Okay. All right. So I've got two. I'll tell one. You tell yours, and then I'll
Here's
tell
the
the other
problem. This is my whole life.
Sure.
So, like, my dad joined the business in 96. I was born in 96.
one. Right.
So I just went down a deep hole of all like core memories from my whole life at Walton's, and I don't know where to go from there. I like started getting emotional thinking about stuff either.
Oh,
I was
good Lord, no.
well,
don't.
no, I was like, I had such a good childhood. Like I have enough crap in my childhood, like everyone else does.
Sure.
But like there was a lot of blessings that I was like, this is a really sweet moment.
So okay. So it'll be a good thing for
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So my first one is when I first started working here. Brett told a story, and I tell people this all. The first time I went home, every single person that I talked to for more than 5 minutes or asked me how is the job going, I told them this story, and it's Crable's, who's a very good customer of ours, and they're very, very good people. That's where I get my halves and quarters of beef from. They were brought some emus to slaughter, and I spent like 20 minutes saying there's something called like the National Emu Processing Association. I
Okay.
looked through their documentation. They don't have anything. They have stuff on like how to process it. They don't talk about how you should slaughter it. So I don't know if they'd ever slaughtered emus before, but what they did is they put them in a pen in the middle of their slaughter area and threw a bunch of feed around the pen, waited for the emu to put its head through the fence and grab the food, and they lopped its head off. And then the emu would go running around the inside of the pen, getting blood everywhere, I'm sure. And then they would wait for the next one. And to hear them tell it, or to hear Brett say how they told it, was that the emus got slower and slower to sticking their heads out when they were like figuring out, like, wait, don't put your head out there, you're gonna die.
It's
So
like a massive chicken.
I just love that idea. I absolutely love the idea of,
Oh my god.
he's coming, Schwack, got him. And I want to think they use like the ones where it takes effort to pull them apart and they just let them go and they snap back together. You ever seen those? They're like
no.
opposite of most ones. So it's got a huge spring in it. So you have to pull it. And then when you want to close it, you just let it go
Okay.
and it goes. Thwack.
I have some nail clippers that are like that,
Okay.
but
So yes, same premise,
yeah, mini version
but it's very small.
for cuticles.
Very small. Okay, what's yours?
First thing I thought of is my first jobs were here
Okay.
growing up. So one of the first things that I had to do was we all talk about scabbard chain sets. That's not the one.
Right.
Before that, my cousins and I were in charge of getting rid of paper because in 2006, paper was everything that we did. Like we didn't have everything just electronic. So there were boxes and boxes and boxes of paper that just had to be shredded.
Mm-hmm.
So we would stand in the warehouse and just shred paper for hours in one single machine. But there would be a radio on out there. So we would we're like 10-year-olds out in the warehouse just shredding paper, having a good time, dancing around. And then come to find out that one of the guys, Andy, who used to work in, he worked in a lot of different departments, but
Right.
he finally came to us and he's like, hey, just so you know, there's security cameras back there and we can see you guys just dancing around in the warehouse. And I would get like $10 for doing that.
Was
for
this like Katie and
okay.
Ashley?
Yeah. So Steph's
Yep.
kids.
Who used to work there as well.
Yeah.
So
That's
nice.
It was so nice. It was just the warehouse at the Mosley building. So, golly, it was hot, no air conditioning, but we had KFDI radio and a shredder.
Yeah, that's
was a
not
good
bad.
time.
That's
Yeah.
not bad and getting paid for it.
Yeah.
All right, so my other one is the one negative story that I have about you.
Oh, no.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay. About 3-4 years ago, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, no.
I get a call from Allie.
Oh, no.
I used to work
No.
with for a long time. And she's like, hey, really just tell me if you're okay with this or not. She's like, I want to use you as a reference for a job and somebody might call you about it. And you're not supposed to know who it is. And it's the Daily Wire. For those of you who know my, whatever you want to call it, political beliefs.
Obsession? No. Okay.
No, that's too strong. I wanted Allie to take this job very badly. So I get home on lunch and this lady calls as I'm walking my dogs, right? And I'm chatty anyways, right? But I really want to sell Allie. So we start talking and we keep going and keep going and keep going. And the lady's like, I asked her, I'm like, can you tell me like, at the very end, she's like, is there anything we haven't talked about that you think would make her a good fit for this position? I was like, she's a wonderful person, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you told me a little bit more about the job, I'm like, she's like, well, it's in Nashville and it's in, conservative, like whatever. I was like, so it's the Daily Wire. And she's like, she starts laughing. She's like, I can't say anything. I'm like, oh, you have to hire her, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, at the very end of the call, I ask her, I'm like, how long do these normally go? And she just starts laughing. She's like, usually about 10 minutes. And I looked at the phone. I'm like, we've been talking for an hour. And she's like, yeah, they don't usually go that long. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. That's my fault. So anyways, I call her. I'm like, that went great. Like, that went absolutely great. They offer her the job and she turns it down. I was so mad.
That one, I had told the company I was at that I had decided to take the job and was ready to sign this document. I don't know what happened other than the only thing I can think of is God did something to my brain to direct me in another way. Cause I just last minute was like, no, I'm going to stay. It was weird. So I'm so sorry that I caused you pain.
You did.
But in the grand scheme of things, it was great. A really good friend of mine ended up taking that job instead.
I remember you told me that.
And then a year after that, I got promoted at the company I was at, and I brought her back into the company, and she took my job and got a big promotion.
But
so everything worked out great.
You could have introduced me to Dr. Jordan Peterson if you were still there.
Potentially.
And that would have been something that I would have enjoyed.
He's not part of the Daily Wire, though, is he?
He's
just friends.
No.
They're actually.
They have his whole
I didn't know
series
that.
on everything. Okay.
Dang.
Meat Matters. Kevin Hart.
Wait, no, I have another one.
Oh, she wants to
You
go
said,
again.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, you have a few.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do all of these.
Oh no, feel free. We'll just call this one Walton's Story Hour.
Walton's Story Hour. Okay, so you wouldn't have been here yet. The old building at Mosley, there was a little restaurant down the road called Angela's.
Okay.
Did you ever have Angela's?
Mm-mm.
Best tacos I've ever had in my entire life.
Okay.
Whatever they did to the shells, they were fried, but they were fluffy and they were just soaked in oil.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. It was amazing. There was one year for March Madness, I had spring break. And so I just went and hung out with my dad all day, and we brought in Angela's tacos, ate way too much, and watched basketball all day. And it was the best.
That's pretty good.
Then time actually working at Walton's, I'm going to try to pull up some pictures so we can add it to this. But I was just thinking about when my mom got Bear.
Oh my God.
And so it was,
I have
you have them?
Yeah, they're on my Google.
You, me, and Bear just hanging out all the time was the best. She would just sleep everywhere, which, I mean, she kind of still does that.
And we would stop whatever we were doing and be like, oh my God, look how cute she's being.
Yeah. I'd be like, look, she's sleeping with her tongue just poked out again. It was adorable.
What year was that? Like
2018.
2018. Okay.
Which I think if I look for bear.
Yeah, I can't just search through by names, but.
I got it.
Yep.
Oh, except we should.
Well, those are older ones. You want puppy bear, which is what
Puppy
I have.
bear?
Oh, yep.
She's so cute.
What a cute dog.
She is a sassy little sucker. Oh my gosh. But she is a pretty dog.
No. There. Remember when you were
That's it.
holding her
Uh-huh.
at the desk?
She would fall asleep with her head on the desk.
Or the time we
That
had
was
to
the
drag her
best.
through the hallway?
The times.
The times.
The
That's a good
times
point.
she did that like
She just
every day.
Give up and refuse to walk. But here's the best picture. When she fell asleep on the wheel of your chair and you couldn't move.
How can you wake that?
No.
Which now, fast forward to today, my parents are on their annual ATV trip I think they're in Western Colorado. So I'm house sitting for Bear and Gruber, and that dog drives me. I love her, but she drives me crazy because she sleeps in her little kennel at night and just makes all these noises and just hits it side to side.
Now I just want to look at pictures of puppies.
I know that's gonna be the rest of this. We're just gonna have a slideshow.
Can you still do this weird thing with your hands?
Oh,
behind your
I
back?
did that today at the chiropractor because
Ugh.
I was like, "Hey, I can do this." So I was wondering, can you do that? And as a chiropractor, can you like pop your own back that way? So
Allie can put her palms flat on her back. She like chicken wings and then turns them up. Do it
I don't
again.
understand why this is like how.
Do it again. Okay. So to describe this to you for just listeners, her elbow is bent at a 80 something degree angle because it goes up.
Just behind your back.
Right. And then she rotates her hands either way. Oh my God, that's so creepy. Oh my God, that's
Why
creepy.
is that bad?
It's not bad. It's just weird that
Can
you
you
can
not do it that way?
Allie,
I'm just putting my hands behind my back.
right here.
How can you not do that?
Because I have shoulder trauma on both of them.
But like, it's just bending your arms.
Oh, that causes me a lot of pain in my shoulder.
It
Even just
feels
doing
so
that
good.
hurt.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, my shoulders are messed up.
So I think you should start doing yoga.
No. Well, I did do yoga for a while.
The right type of yoga is
Yeah,
great.
I don't want to do yoga.
You ever
Drunk
done
cardio
hot
is-
yoga though?
No.
You do the ones that I used to do one in Nashville with this lady that would like call you out if you weren't working hard. It was
Ugh.
hilarious. No, in a funny way. She would make jokes so everyone would start laughing. So you'd be like holding some pose and just laughing. So you're like double burning calories. It was really fun.
The only yoga I ever did was the P90X stuff by myself
Oh,
where nobody
that
else
one
could
sucks.
see it.
It's so hard. It's
I didn't think
not.
it was that hard.
It's
It
it's
made me
like
sweat
boring.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was boring, but it made
Yeah.
me sweat a lot.
that's good.
So I don't know.
Now do it in a 90-degree room. That's a good time.
No, that sounds terrible.
It's pretty bad.
Do you have
Ugh.
more stories you want to talk about?
I had one more. Okay.
The
So-
first day I started here.
Okay, we can tell that.
That
Have we
was-
told that?
I don't think there is a story.
I mean, the story was I was like, "What's this goon doing here,
Yeah,
dressed up in a
tried to get me
suit?"
fi- No, that was for my interview.
Yeah.
Right. I said it was the first day I
Oh, your
started
first
here.
day. I
Yeah.
don't know that
No,
I don't remember
very
that.
standard day.
I do remember when you started in the video department, and I again was like, "Who's this goon in here? Why is he here?" But turned out
Pretty good.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
Not
good.
bad.
So again, Mosley Building.
Okay.
I'm in high school. When you're in high school, usually your job for me and my brothers was work in the packaging room. Now, packaging room is, if you're watching this, I don't know how to compare it, maybe from the edge of the stove to the wall there.
Okay.
So what would you call that? Like 20 feet?
No, it's not even 20 feet. 15 feet
15
tops.
Maybe like 15 feet long,
Yeah.
probably
'Cause
less
Jaws
than
would be
10
way
feet
past that.
wide. So small room, all just white walls, very back of the warehouse. No one around. Creepy is all get out. It's right next to the walk-in cooler. So all you can hear all day is just like loud noises. So I'm back there doing my own little thing, kind of like having fun, packaging things, putting some casings in a bag, sealing it up. And I'm walking out and I look and I see this big old black snake
Okay, I'm
curled
glad
up.
it's a snake story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard this before?
I've heard of.
Okay. Yeah. So I immediately go, Jimmy in the warehouse is playing a joke on me
Yeah.
because he would do stuff like that.
Sure.
So I start walking around. I'm like, okay, surely this is a fake thing. I'm not going to mess with it because just in case. But it's definitely fake.
Yeah.
It's a fake thing. It's not moving. It's not real. So I go and I look. No one is around. Everyone's in meetings. So my dad's in a meeting. Austin's in a meeting. My mom's in a meeting. I was like, I don't know who to go to. I ended up going and finding another high schooler that was working there at the time. I was like, hey, would you come look at something for me? He comes and walks over and I was like, is that real? And he's like, I don't know. So we found a massive pole. We poked it and it moved.
Yeah.
I screamed and ran. And I think we eventually found Andy again. Andy came and had a bucket and scooped it up. But I hate snakes. Beyond all things, I hate snakes.
Yeah, that wasn't even the only, like, I'd heard that those large black snakes got in there like somewhat regularly. Not
Really?
regularly, but yeah, like that's not the only time that that's happened. Or that happened at Mosley.
How many times?
I don't know.
But
I've
it was
heard
weird because it was right next to the packaging room.
it
Or
just-
in like the cooler.
yeah, it probably lived in there.
Oh, I
You
hate
just
that.
saw it
I hate that.
occasionally.
Then when we moved into here, I swept up snakes.
Yep.
Then there
I
was a
gonna say
snake that
the
came out of the ceiling in
yeah,
Austin's
the
office.
ceiling
There was a
snake.
snake in
That
the
caused a
showroom.
stir. Yep.
Oh,
Just all of a sudden a snake
Ugh.
hanging down from the
I
ceiling.
don't like it.
Yeah. That was nobody's favorite. That did cross my mind when I was going up there to run all these wires. I'm like, I bet you there's a snake up here.
Why do they go into ceilings? That doesn't make sense to me. What's up there?
Warm, quiet, dark. That's
Food?
What they I don't know. We don't I never see mice here. Ever. So I don't think
Yeah.
we have their food source.
I've seen multiple snakes, never a mouse.
Never seen a mouse here. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Snakes don't bother me. They like surprise me. Like if I'm walking and one slithers underneath me, I'll go, whoa. But I'm not like
If one slithers underneath you, have you had many snakes slither
Yeah.
underneath you?
I'm outside all the time.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you just have a snake slithering under
In the
you.
last year, there's been like 5 times I've walked over snakes. Like stepped over and looked down and like, oh, a snake.
I don't like that.
There's a lot of snakes in my like pond area. So whatever.
Snakes are the devil.
They're not that bad.
They're literally the devil. Read Genesis. It's a real thing.
There's no like you would have so many more rats and mice and like all these other things that we hate if there was no snakes. Now, if we could get rid of the rats and the mice and the snakes, I'm 100% on board
Fair.
because I don't like any of those things.
You know what we also wouldn't have if we didn't have snakes?
Sharks?
Sin.
Insane.
I hate snakes. End of story.
No. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. We've got Meat Matters. Kevin Hart closes vegan QSR chain after only 2 years. So he started a vegan food company in California, and there's not like a good answer as to exactly what went wrong with it. But in the post, the chain said, "Thank you to our team, guests, and community who helped make the change we all craved. A heartfelt," spelled like Kevin Hart, "goodbye for now as we start a new chapter." Hart House originally opened in 2022 and offered traditional but vegan fast food experience with products such as burgers, sandwiches, nuggets, milkshakes, and more. No, you cannot offer traditional and like,
No.
but it's vegan. So it's not traditional at all.
Is Kevin Hart a vegan?
I don't know.
There's no shot.
I'm not the biggest Kevin Hart fan. Hart House closing down all their locations effective immediately is crazy. Can't force demand, is what somebody else said. And that's what this all comes down to. They keep trying to make vegan
Stop trying to make vegan happen, John. It's never going to happen.
for a small subset of the population, like 2 to 3%.
Mhm.
It will like they'll want it, but you can't expand that to large numbers.
Yeah, your market is only so big.
And it's never going to grow beyond that. Like, it's just not going to. Maybe in other areas of the world, sure,
Yeah.
but it's not going to happen here. Couple other stories
Yeah.
that are tangential to this.
That was an impressive word. I'm just going to say it. That would not be in my vocabulary.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't know.
How European supermarkets are getting people to eat less meat. We talked about this a couple weeks ago when I
Yeah.
had that chart of how much like actual meat was in a bunch of their
Mhm.
sausages. So protein splits appear to be working, but is there hope the trend could spread to the US? European supermarkets are helping customers eat less meat, tricking customers into eating less meat is what that should say,
Okay.
and more plants in a bid to improve dietary health and reduce emissions. The new initiative, known as Protein Splits, aims to expand supermarket sales of plant proteins and shrink sales of animal ones. Why is that their goal?
I don't get that.
They should just be meeting the customer's demands, which is meat. In Europe, a combination of shoppers wanting to eat less animal protein due to rising health, animal welfare, and environmental concerns, plus supermarkets' own worries about reducing their emissions, and in one country, government backing, appears to be driving the split's initial success. Here's how protein splits work, blah, 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 blah. So they just go through how it, basically they take an animal protein and they add a bunch of filler to it and call it a split.
What is the point of all of this?
I don't know. I really don't.
Because
In my more conspiratorial days, I think that they want... There is very good evidence that from, whatever you want to call early Homo sapiens, that we experienced rapid brain growth around the time we started cooking meat. Like, there's very good evidence for that, okay? In my more, dark time, that sounds so stupid. When I'm being more, in my own head, they want us all to eat just vegetables and a bunch of, GMO nonsense burger, not real food to make us dumber and make us easier to handle. Because, if my dogs started getting really smart, I'd have a heck of a time dealing with them. They're dumb, so they're easy to deal with. If you start looking at, people who are in charge now looking at us, in that same thing, of course they'd want us dumb. And then other times, I'm like, maybe they really are concerned about the environment and blah, blah, blah. I go back and forth.
that makes sense. I always wonder, just most things in life are money motivated. So where's the money in this? Is there really a way to make that niche of a market become popular enough to make that much money off of it that's worth it?
I think when you get to a certain level of wealth, money is no longer even a slight motivating factor.
Really?
Yeah, it's power. That's all that matters. So if you can control what people eat, then you control everything. So
Yeah. Money is power.
to a certain degree. But you could have a lot of money and no power. If nobody listens to you or respects what you do, then have all the money you want. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah, I feel like people usually will make the argument for money can buy anything, though. So even if nobody follows you, you can buy people out.
Maybe to a certain
Not
degree,
everyone.
but
I don't think you can be
No.
bought in those
I'm not
situations,
even.
but others
This isn't
can.
a me thing. This is. I'm thinking, there are tons of things that they've tried to push. You know how much money's behind PETA?
No, I actually have never looked into that.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
But it's just never going to work. You can try. You can put all the money you want behind it, but when people just, I'm not doing it. People just, we're stubborn creatures.
Yeah.
We're just nope, this is what I am.
It's interesting the money that you put behind an organization that PETA usually has aggressiveness to it. There's rarely a time that I've seen a PETA article or anything that's done out of kindness. There's usually some
Sure.
anger involved.
I can think of one.
Yeah?
They had a lineup of animals, and their only slogan on it is where does food separate from friend, basically. It was draw the line.
Yeah.
And I get what they're trying to do. They're okay, well, you eat a pig, but you don't eat a dog. Where's that line? And that was that's an interesting thing to kind of.
That one I can kind of understand
that's fine.
because we don't want to eat our pets now, do we?
well, we don't want to. It seems like maybe some people do, though. Yeah, that is a good segue. So we're going to talk about it, the whole cat eating controversy in Ohio, or pets. And first of all, the memes that came out the day after the debate with Trump saving all the cats made me laugh
Top
so
tier.
hard. So
The
hard.
internet is at its best the day after debates.
They really are.
I don't care what side you're on.
Yeah.
That does not matter.
It's awesome.
It's
absolutely
just
awesome.
the internet thrives.
Yep. So obviously Trump said they were eating pets in Ohio. The fact checkers said they reached a government official and said there's no credible reports of that. But there's this guy, Christopher Rufo, who I'm usually a pretty big fan of, has an article called The Cat Eaters of Ohio. And he did a ridiculous amount of research. We'll post this in there showing that there's absolutely at least in some areas of that country, people from the Democratic Republic of Congo, apparently they eat cats there.
Yeah.
And they were going around and getting stray cats, people's pets, whatever, and cooking them. And there's a video of it, and JD Vance posted it, and there was so many comments that were like, "That's a chicken, you moron. Like, what is wrong with you?" Blah, blah, blah. This is so clearly a cat that it's not even remotely funny. Their paws.
Oh, no,
chickens,
I don't want to
chickens'
see
feet
that.
Don't go that way. Now
That's
watch,
not a chicken.
No. You can see when it goes, and then there's cats walking around.
That was JD Vance that posted that?
He didn't post this. He
Okay, I was gonna say I saw that video.
And then you can see right here, that is some sort of like mammal's front two legs, like hanging down. And its head is flopped back. So somebody's eating cats somewhere. Have you ever heard, like there are countries obviously that eat dogs, right? Like Korea eats dogs.
Yeah.
They say dogs can smell if you've ever eaten dog in the past. So like a lot of these people that just are like, oh, I don't like dogs. It's like, you might have been fed something that you didn't know you were fed.
Wait, the people don't like dogs, or dogs?
Dogs don't like you. I know somebody who like dogs just don't like them.
Got you. It's not the person going, oh, I just don't like dogs.
They obviously don't like dogs too, because
Okay.
it's both ways.
Yeah.
But dogs can smell cancer. They can tell when you're about to have a seizure. Like they obviously have amazing noses.
Yeah.
So there's a theory out there that they can tell if you've eaten dog in the past.
So you're thinking even if somebody like accidentally ate dog, like if it was mixed into something.
Right?
That's so sad.
How terrible. My life would not be
gosh.
well, I'm not going to say now. My life would be way sadder if dogs all of a sudden didn't like me.
Yeah.
Like I went into a shop the other day. It's a liquor store down here. There was a 5-month-old 70-pound XL bully. Like he was
That's a big boy.
a unit, like an absolute unit. His name was like Alfred. It was something like very proper. It was
I
awesome.
like that. Did he have a bow tie?
He didn't.
If you have a dog named Alfred and he doesn't
It
have a
wasn't
bow tie,
Alfred. It was like something like
Steve.
that. Yeah, but it was like proper.
Okay.
This dog would not stop pumping my leg. Like he just ran up to me, grabbed onto me nonstop.
So maybe dogs love you a little too much.
Yes.
So there's a fine line.
I kept grabbing his paws, taking them off my leg, and like putting them up here, and he would just stare at me like.
Did you get a picture of this dog?
Oh, I do.
Okay,
I'll
we'll
show it
add it up.
Yeah, he's absolutely adorable. I don't remember why I told that portion of the story, but anyways, so somebody's eating something.
Golly.
And we'll just leave that. We'll leave that at that.
Yeah.
We'll move on. All right. We've got Boar's Head discontinues former fan favorite. So this is what was identified as the main cause of the listeria outbreak.
Ooh.
And the only reason we're talking about this one right now is because they call liverwurst a fan favorite. I don't think they understand what fan favorite means.
Who did that?
Right. This is from the New York Post.
Have they ever had Braunschweiger?
I mean, what are you trying to do here?
Just thinking about liver.
Right. Okay. So are you trying to say Braunschweiger is better than liverwurst?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know.
Okay. They're both not popular.
They're
you
both.
Can't call something a fan favorite unless it's extremely popular.
Most people will look at anything that has liver in it and go, I'm never touching that.
Yeah. Right. So calling it a fan favorite is wildly inaccurate.
The New York Times?
New York Post.
New York Post.
Yeah.
Either which way.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Completely
wrong.
inaccurate. Right. But that was what was basically behind listeria outbreak was their liverwurst. So they are canceling it. Now.
What a bummer.
Yeah. Oh no. Boar's Head indefinitely closes Virginia plant tied to deadly listeria outbreak, and also obviously discontinues the liverwurst. But it says they announced Friday that it has indefinitely shut down the Virginia deli meat plant and is discontinuing liverwurst. In what it called a dark moment in the company's history, Boar's Head said in a Friday statement that it's closing the plant. The cause of the contamination was a specific production process that only existed at the Jarrett facility. We regret and deeply apologize for the recent Listeria monocytogenes contamination in our liverwurst product. We understand the gravity of the situation, the profound impact it had on the affected families. I mean, people died. It's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah. And unfortunately, somebody had noted like systemic problems at this plant 2 years ago, and they were never fixed. So when this lawsuit comes through, it's going to be
bad.
big. It's going to be big. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of this if there is no more Boar's Head.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like, I think that how many, like 15 people died? And for
They're just such a
problem that
massive
they knew what
company.
it was. So they don't make a lot of like co-pack,
Okay.
right? Like there are Boar's Head facilities,
Okay.
but it's probably for things like liverwurst and specialty products. Like I would very much doubt that they're making their salami.
They're just labeling.
And they're having it made to their specifications, right? So it's not like they're taking Walmart salami and putting in Boar's Head stuff. They're, it's a different protein that's used, it's a different mixture, it's a different cooking process, but they're not making it all at their own facilities.
So
someone's going to probably save them and buy them.
Yeah, if Boar's Head shuts down then.
Because it's a family-owned company.
Okay.
I'm not rooting for this at all. I would love to see
it's a really sad situation.
And Boar's Head's delicious.
They're fantastic. I would say anytime I go buy turkey at the store, I will only get Boar's Head. Every other one I've tried has just been weird. Yeah. So maybe just my luck of the draw. But so let's just say if something were to happen, they do close, do you then take the exact same products that are not being made at their facilities, being made at other facilities, and just rename them?
I would think what would actually happen is there's so much value in the brand name behind Boar's Head still. I would think another company would come in and like buy it. Right? So it would be
that's an
the Tremblay
interesting
Corporation,
thought.
but I would still package things under Boar's Head.
You looking to get into a new business?
It probably just needed $50 million would be something like that. Probably more.
Pocket change.
Probably more. Probably
I'm
more.
going to go with a lot more.
Yeah, I'm probably
We'll research that later.
Underestimating that.
Watch it be like $50 billion.
Right? It's unbelievable.
It's like, hey, if I had like $100, I could probably get my name into the hat. Yeah.
Take that. High meat prices are helping fuel inflation, and a few companies are being blamed. So this article is from 2021. So we're going to talk about this article and this other article next, which is about meat mergers and the rise of the big four. But we're not going to delve on things too much. Basically, first one's from NPR, and it's talking about how in 2021, the big four handled 80% of meat processing in America. Okay. And the White House was going to start trying to affect policies to force them to lower their prices to help fight inflation. Well, fast forward just 2 years, 85%. They now control 85% of all the processing. So in 2 years, with the White House affecting policies to damage these companies, hurt them so much that they took over another 5% of all meat processing in America.
So I'm not like the best at math.
No.
But the girl math isn't girl mathing.
No. 85 is higher than 80. So while they said they were trying to reduce their market share, they actually increased it.
And the goal of this would be just for legalities to make sure that there's not a monopoly happening, because monopolies would be illegal.
Yeah, with the way the big four are now, they're never going to be split up. Like, it's just not going to happen. If they tried to merge, like if Tyson tried to buy JBS or something like that, that'd probably get blocked at this point, because it'd be like, no, you're controlling too much.
Okay.
But they're never going to get split up. And even if they do get split up, it'll be the same thing that happened with Standard Oil back in like the 18 whatevers. Yeah. They're just going to split up into a bunch of different companies, and you're not changing anything.
Yeah. So I don't know how you change that.
No, I don't know. You've got me.
And I don't know what the government can do anything.
Government can't do anything about it.
I think they just proved that.
When they try to regulate it, they make the problem worse. So you just have to let the free market figure it out.
Yeah. Also, anytime you try to regulate anything, at least in my personal experiences within just marketing, we always look for loopholes. You always look for a loophole.
Yep.
So you add a rule, and I go, okay, here's the rule. How can I work around it?
And you can almost always find one.
Yeah.
Yep. Cattle truck flips over in Arlington, killing at least 40 cows.
Oh.
So it was a livestock guy. He was driving. He miscalculated the turn.
I'd say so.
The entire trailer flipped over. Now, luckily, that was only 80 or 40 of the 80 cows that were in there.
Is he okay?
Still, yeah. Yep,
okay, good.
He's fine. But it's still
That's so sad.
it's sad. Like you never want to see a really good steak go to waste.
Yeah. What?
No. Okay.
What?
I thought maybe she would have a different reaction to that. Like I thought you'd be
Oh,
like, no,
no.
it's sad that the cow died. I mean,
It's sad that the cow died, and it is sad that, I mean, that was meat to feed people.
I'm more sad about the meat to feed people.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing?
Not the same thing.
Not the same thing?
I
Oh,
don't
maybe
think
that's
so.
just my twisted brain.
I guess so, but your twisted brain aligns with mine on that. So,
But I think it's from like a movie where somebody's like, we take life to give life.
Mhm.
That's what I think about for cows. So like the cows' lives were taken and it didn't benefit any other lives. So it just makes me sad.
yeah, if my house ever sells, there's this place that Austin sent me. I think
Yeah.
it's got enough room for
I think it sold.
when it must have been in the last 2 days.
Oh, I don't know. Last time I
Yeah,
went to look, it was gone.
Really? Okay.
Maybe I had a filter on.
Yeah.
That wasn't.
I just looked
yeah.
at it Monday.
What's it drop? Is
No,
it
it's
dropped
still
down
at
to?
350.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I as well looked at that piece of property.
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
this would be dope.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like the properties, I don't even mind the train tracks being right there. But my
You'll get
thought
used to it.
process was there's enough, like they have areas for horses there. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
going to swap that out, and buy some cattle,
Yeah.
and then slaughter my own cattle.
Can Jenny and I come hang out? Can we
Sure.
come take care of your cows sometimes?
You can, but you have to name them, and then we kill them and eat, like, you're eating Jennifer.
Okay, first of all, I'm not going to name it Jennifer.
And it's going to be
that
named
feels
a
wrong for
regular
a cow.
human name. No Daisy, no...
Daisy's a regular human name.
That's a good point, too.
Just not Jennifer. I don't know why. That just doesn't feel right.
One of
Daisy
them
would
is
be better.
100% going to be named Jennifer now.
Belle. Belle would be a cute one.
No, I
Yeah.
will always have a cow named Jennifer now. From the first time I have a cow until I die, I will
So
have a
when
cow named
Jenny comes
Jennifer.
to take care of the cows,
Jenny, go take care of your cow. We're going to eat that one first.
Jenny's real name is not Jennifer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Her real name is Jenny,
Yeah.
but still.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Nebraska's largest feedlot to receive first shipment of cattle this month. So it's a new feedlot. It's got 150,000 head capacity, and they're getting 50,000 in right now. And then by the end of 2024, they're getting another 50,000. They think by the end of 2026, they're going to be at full capacity. So their reason for putting it where they did, which is on the Kansas and Nebraska line, is they wanted access to three things. They wanted access to an aquifer, which they're right over an aquifer. They wanted access to not sustainable, but like consistent food supplies, which that area of the country, if you're looking for corn, that's where you want to be.
There's corn in Kansas?
No.
What?
And Nebraska?
Never knew
then
that.
The third one is with like close to large meat processing facilities, and there's a good concentration of them there as well. So
Okay.
seems like that was done really planned out really well, and they expect annual cattle sales to be at $300 million or thereabout per year.
Golly.
Right? So
That's
much money.
crazy.
Concern.
Okay, the more that we talk on these podcasts, the more I'm like, I think I should just go raise cows. I think this might be my new dream.
I think there's a like times in everyone's life, and I 100% went through that like 6 months ago. Where I was like, I just want to go live on a farm.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that most?
that's what I want to do. And I think it's just like occasionally when things are super complicated, you want to revert to
Yeah.
like and not that farming's simple, right? Because it's got a ton of things you have to take.
It's a lot of work,
Right.
but it's also you
But it's-
have more I can't say more predictability because nature is nature. You can't.
It's work you know how to do. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
we have to go put this fence back up. We have to feed these animals.
and it's
we have
not
to
reliant
plant
on a
this.
human and their emotions, and that's where the rest of life gets stressful for me. Is usually
I tend to agree.
emotions.
Yep.
Yeah,
No, I tend to agree with that.
I like cows.
So-
Cows are great.
Concerns on USDA allowing Paraguayan beef imports. So we're not going to talk about this much, but RCAF, which is the United Stock Growers of America, their CEO is Bill Bullard. Bill's been on the podcast in the past. He's a very good, or very smart guy, knows a lot about the cattle industry. So he is hoping that when Congress gets back into session, they will revoke a special access that was given to bring in Paraguayan beef. And his major concern behind this, I'm sure part of it is definitely why would he want more competition in here, but they have not done a good job in Paraguay apparently in stomping out foot and mouth disease.
Ooh, yeah. Let's
So,
not.
Yeah.
Let's not drag that in.
And this would allow them to bring in fresh beef, which,
Okay.
yeah, apparently, like it's not processed, right? So it's
Yeah.
could possibly still have that in it.
Yeah.
So,
Rough.
the chicken lobby wants to delay deadline for commenting on salmonella regulation. I love the fact that every single thing has a lobby.
I know
in
the fact that it's
America.
called the chicken lobby.
Chicken lobby.
My
Yep.
immediate picture is thinking of like a Capitol building and like the entrance to it just being covered with chickens. They have little suits on.
No.
This is why you shouldn't have me on the podcast.
Pull it together, Walton. The National Chicken Council wants at least a 90-day extension, but it looks like they'd really like another 180 days. So in July, the USDA proposed a rule that would stop poultry producers from selling chicken and turkey contaminated with high levels of certain types of salmonella. The rule would make it illegal to sell chicken, chicken parts, ground chicken, and turkey if they are found to be contaminated with certain types of salmonella. The USDA's Food Safety Inspection Services will apply the rule, which was more than 3 years in the making. Once published in the Federal Register, the public entities, including industry organizations, individual producers, and consumers groups, first had 60 days to comment, but that has already been extended. So I know that sounds kind of weird, like you hear salmonella and you're like, well, of course they shouldn't be able to sell anything with salmonella on it.
Okay.
Salmonella's on like everything. Like if you wanted chicken or vegetables that had no salmonella on it, your food costs are going to go up 10 times because so much of it has a small amount on it. And either A, you cook it properly, or B, you wash it off, or C, for most of us, salmonella is not that big a deal.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of times that I have eaten raw cookie dough, and like every human has eaten raw cookie dough.
Yep.
Because
Because it tastes delicious.
the risk is worth it.
It really is. It really is. And it's a low risk.
That's one of those ones that like I don't think about a lot, except for when people are just straight up eating raw eggs, because that one just weirds me out. Like, you've done that before, right? Yeah, I don't. It just, oh, that one's weird to me.
The only raw food I've never eaten at this point, I'm pretty sure, or like common
Category,
food,
yeah,
is chicken, poultry.
I wouldn't do that one.
I know. I haven't.
Texture wise, that just sounds very slimy.
Beef was amazing. Pork was fine.
Okay.
Pork wasn't anywhere near as good as beef.
Okay, can we talk about how I think you're trying to kill me? Let's just take a second. I forgot to bring this up at the beginning of the podcast. You cooked burgers earlier today?
Yeah.
And I was eating my burger and got halfway through it, and it was just pink. Like,
I tempt them.
I don't know about that. It was like not. The first half was fine. The second half was not. So it was like one half was cooked, one half was not.
I hate that grill. I hate that grill.
That's rough. Anyway, I didn't end up eating that second half because I was very concerned about it. What do we got?
Well, we're gonna
Oh!
a few of these.
Let's see. Are you using a pocket knife?
I am.
Okay. It's a little pink. Mine was
no, that's perfectly
mine.
fine.
Mine was pinker than that. I promise it was. That one's fine. No.
Okay, so you got a bad one.
Yeah, I just luck of the draw. Or you
hate that so
specifically chose which one to give me.
You chose off the plate.
Yes, but you set it up in the right way.
So you
Because the others had buns, and you knew I want to eat one with a bun on it. And that one did not have melted cheese on the top. And I'm a little picky about the cheese that I have melted on top of my burgers. So I went for the one without the cheese melted on top.
while I'm flattered, you're assigning too much
I'm making you
creativity
too
to my
smart.
brain. Yeah. That's not how this brain works. No, but that grill, if half of it was cooked and half of it wasn't, like it was side to side.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's because it has so many hot spots.
that's not great.
I don't like the larger pellet grills. I like my pellet grill at home.
How
my
big is
Camp Chef,
yours?
It's the 24-inch, and it is perfect. It has almost no hot spots. Once sausage is cooked here, I know it's cooked everywhere else as well.
Okay.
On this one, we'll tempt every individual piece of
Did
sausage.
you just eat food that's not your food? John just tried to eat a burger, which he's not thinking
I had a
about.
very small piece of it in my hand, and I just naturally tried to eat it.
Are you glad that I stopped you, or are you
I am.
sad?
No, I'm glad.
Okay, you're welcome. And okay, I have another grilling question while we've got burgers out here. So I was grilling last night. Whenever I'm house sitting for my parents, I take full advantage of that because they have a grill. I can't have a grill where I live right now, and they don't pay me to house sit for them because I'm
You're
their
the
child.
daughter. Right.
But I do get access to all the beef that they have in their freezer. which is better than payment, I would
Sure,
say.
yeah.
So I go searching through the freezer yesterday, find a few steaks and some burgers, cooking them. It's great. They were fantastic. So flash forward to this morning. I'm getting ready in the morning, trying to get my hair did. And I realized my hair smells like grill smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a problem that guys, like, do guys ever come across that too? Or, because, like, I don't wash my
Clothes.
hair every day.
Yeah, clothes, but no, not hair.
Okay, because, yeah, girls, we wash our hair maybe twice a week.
Right.
So then I was like, am I going to smell like barbecue all day today? I didn't think about it. And I was like, well, it's too late now. It's just is what it is.
Usually worse.
Campfires, that
Yeah.
one for a fact. I know I can't. I
If
have
you-
to shower immediately.
If you want to attract a beau, that's actually
should-
not a bad way to smell like barbecue.
My
Have
buddy
your
I
hair
don't
Josh,
smell
know that
like
that's a
barbecue?
good thing.
My buddy Josh, his cousin's name is Bo. So
Patrick's back, guys.
B-E-A.
Hey,
Are those burgers up for grab?
Yes.
You may have one, yeah.
Okay.
please do.
They're cold, unfortunately, but
Don't
yeah,
take
you can
one
have
that's pink in the middle because John might be trying to kill you.
Hey, you know why. You know why.
It's the only way you could.
All right, semi-truck carrying sausages and sauce flips spills onto a roadway in Florida. So apparently our truckers are having a heck of a time. So those are all sausages that just,
Wait.
yep. Yeah, they spilled out the side of it right onto
Okay,
the
that one's
road.
funny though. Why is it? It's sad if it's a live animal that dies, but it's just funny if it's
Yeah, no, that-
sausages that spilled out.
That makes sense. All right, we're going to pass the rest of those and we're going to go on to wild card.
Remember how you said this is going to be a short podcast?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing because we're going to be running over here. Before adopting their bamboo diet, pandas lived in Europe and ate meat.
No.
Yeah,
No.
pandas were 100 times cooler
How?
than they used to be.
How do we know? Okay, pandas are adorable and they seem like the sweetest, dumbest little things.
They're not. They're bears.
Are they?
Oh yeah, no, they grab people all the time and try and like hold them through the fence. You never seen that?
No.
Let me sing Kiko, man. This guy again, he can't escape it.
But yeah, so pandas used to be carnivores and somehow they just went to eating just bamboo. And now we have to make them mate. So say what you want about eating meat. Nobody's having to make grizzly bears mate. They're making their own grizzly bears.
There's grizzly
Like-
bears making other grizzly bears.
Right.
for sure.
There's no wild pandas making other pandas. They're only repopulating in zoos.
I want to know why they switched to bamboo then. Is it just location that they
Probably.
got shifted to?
Mhm.
Probably
Did they
flavor.
lose their ability to kill? Like, do they not know how to anymore?
They're just too sweet. They're like, I don't want to. And then
Like
every
those
once in
videos
a
of pandas
while-
just falling off of things?
Because they're idiots. We should just let
They're
them
adorable.
die. We should let them go extinct.
No.
Yes.
I don't know that we need to fight super hard to keep them alive, but I don't think we just let them die.
Man sprints from garage after bear pokes its head out of his garage. So he's walking around and you can see it there kind of, but we're going to watch it because this bear's head is enormous. So he's obviously doing some yard work. He's walking
Mhm.
around. He's about to walk into his garage and get quite the nasty surprise because whoop, run. Look at that. That's a big bear.
That is a big bear.
I think I have a really bad opinion of what the actual size of a black bear.
What do you mean? Do
I
you think
think
it's
that-
bigger or smaller?
No, I think they're bigger than I think they are.
I mean, I don't think they're small. They're still a bear.
You ever seen a sun bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tiny. I'd take a sun bear on a one.
So I've never seen one in person. I saw pictures because my mom and Dylan went on a mission trip to Chicago when Dylan was in high school.
Yeah.
They went to the zoo as like their little fun outing thing. There was a sun bear there. They had some sort of issue where it couldn't keep its tongue in its mouth.
So it just
So it
lolled.
just,
Yeah.
it was just going around. I think it like just had surgery or something too. But they like talked about that for years and had so many pictures of this little sun bear.
They're like this tall.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's still huge.
It's not huge. It's smaller than Brutus. What do you think the average weight of a sun bear is?
300.
183 pounds.
Yeah, I think Patrick's way
183.
closer.
So
Average
they're
weight
like
of a
a
sun
puppy.
bear is 110 pounds.
They're smaller than I am. I
Yeah.
don't like that.
No, I'm winning that fight. And they're
Your
ugly.
claws.
Like that is not cute.
No, that is a cute little
No,
bunny.
it's not. That is ugly.
He's so fluffy.
Listen.
If you were a bear, what type of bear would you be?
Ooh, that's a good
100%.
question.
I can't be a grizzly. That's Yeah, I'd want to. Do I just get to choose, or does it have to like match my personality?
It's got to
and stuff?
match you.
Well,
Oh.
if they're starkly different, that's funny too. So which one's your instant gut reaction?
I want to be a grizzly bear.
I think I would be a sun bear. They're just kind of goofy. It's my spirit animal.
But which one matches your personality then? So it sounds like hers is spot on.
Probably a black bear. Just like
Climbs trees.
I'm not like I'm not very. I don't think I'm very aggressive, right? Like I'm not that aggressive.
But I'll take a swipe at you.
Right. If
You're
I
not
have to,
aggressive until you are.
right. If I have to, I will. But I'm not, I don't like chase things down. I'm like I'm gonna kill you.
What about a polar bear? What's that? What's that
No,
persona?
no.
Angry, very angry.
Cold serial killer.
Oh,
Yeah. They eat nothing but meat. And everything they see, they're like, I'm going to go try to eat that. So definitely not that.
yeah, that's a little rough.
So yeah, if somebody says that they would want to be a polar bear,
Run.
run.
What kind of bear am I? I don't know anymore.
Polar
Polar
bear.
bear. Definitely a polar bear. Mystery over shark attack that left German woman 30 dead off the Canary Islands. So what happened, this has happened today, actually yesterday. But she got her leg bitten off at 4 p.m. and she was still on her way to a helicopter at 11 when
Wait.
she died.
Hold on, let me write
Because
this down. Is this like a math
They
problem?
wouldn't. There's no math here
Is this Eastern?
because they wouldn't. Whoever controls that area of the Canary Islands wouldn't approve her transfer. So she died
Who
for no reason.
Did that?
I know.
Oh, that's
I
so
know.
sad.
It was
They-
probably just like, well,
they
where do you
easily
want her to
could've-
die at? Not here, not there. Well, you can't die.
They're
at
like, well, we
Disney
don't have the
World, so-
resources for it, or they don't have the resources for it there, so you can't take it there. So the Spanish eventually came in with the naval helicopter and was just like, now we're taking her.
That's one of those things that, like, I could see somebody be in that position and being like, I don't know, I don't think I'm allowed to do this. But in that case, you just do
Someone's
it and
life
like
is on
ask
the
for
line. Yeah.
forgiveness later.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to sound insensitive, but that's why that guy gets paid the big bucks, right? He made that decision. He said, you know what?
She died.
We don't have the
is the
resources there.
moment.
What are you going to do? Just be mad when you get there and they can't do anything? So he might have actually made the only decision. So
Yeah, that's fair.
no one's speaking for him or her. So.
Oh, they're doing a full investigation into it, so
But
hopefully
that's why they make the buku bucks.
We'll find
as
out
we
more
call
later.
it down here. So.
The
Study
boo-hoo.
shows most dangerous states for animal attacks. So this is states with the highest animal attacks since 2000.
Florida. Florida. Arizona.
Florida is number 3.
Okay. Ding. Do you want to pass or play? Wait, no, you get to try to answer it.
Hawaii?
Hawaii is not in the
Oh,
top.
okay. I thought they maybe
15.
haven't
Arizona.
different enough.
So are you playing?
Yeah, I'm playing that.
Okay, so you have to get the top 5.
Yeah.
No.
You
got-
I got 1 X.
Colorado.
No. He's
Oh,
I was
playing.
okay.
going to go to Texas.
Ding, ding, ding. Number 1
Okay, boom,
by
baby.
a huge amount.
Okay, it's a massive place.
560 animal attacks versus Florida, which had 257.
California.
Number 2.
Hey, baby.
So you have to get
Woo!
you have to get 4 and 5, and you've got 2 guesses left. I don't think you're going to do this.
So pretty much go for the biggest states. That's what we're talking about now.
Nope.
I was going to say Montana.
Is that are you answering
Um,
Montana?
I feel like
The
he would have
elk.
gave it to me. I'm feeling like Alaska even too.
Yes,
You-
but
I
Alaska
need
doesn't have
an
as many
answer.
people, right?
Yeah, I need an answer.
Wyoming.
Nope. 2 X's.
What was it?
Well, no,
Wait,
you-
I got one more.
Yeah.
What was her guess?
Colorado?
I put
Hawaii.
Colorado.
She said Hawaii.
I put both those
Yeah,
in
she
there.
said those 2.
North Dakota.
Ooh, you were close. North Carolina
Dang
Oh.
it.
and then Tennessee.
What's in North
wouldn't have
Carolina?
got those.
Why is Tennessee in there? The Bears?
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
Duh, bear.
Okay, I didn't know that there were bears there until after I started camping in the wilderness, and people were like, there's bears out here,
There's
and I was like,
bears
oh, cool, cool,
everywhere. What are you talking about? They
Honestly-
don't just stop at state lines.
cool. They're not in
Mm.
Kansas.
Probably mostly dogs.
Do you think they sniff and go,
Oh,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is not my home
That's
state"?
disappointing.
should
I,
say
I
that."
can't be
Yeah.
here. I don't have my license.
they have like shock collars
They
that
get-
once you cross the line.
Yeah, you go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Florida annual Python challenge removes nearly 200 invasive snakes from the state. That is nothing. I don't know why they continue to do this. Like 200 is a
What do you do with them?
kill 'em.
Okay, okay. You said remove, and I was like,
Yeah,
are
yeah.
they putting them somewhere else? I don't
How
know.
many people do you think die from a snake bite every?
Oh gosh, I thought
lot.
we've done this before.
A lot.
Like how How many minutes do you think it is between how often someone dies from a snake bite?
12.
23.
It's 4 to 6.
Gee.
My fear of snakes just went.
I'm telling
Okay,
you.
so
snakes are bad.
Sunday I went to is it Nafser Park in downtown Wichita?
No, Napster.
Napster.
what I was
That's
thinking
it.
she said.
Napster
That's what I was
Park.
trying to figure out.
They got like a little turf area, some food trucks, a screen to watch the Chiefs game. I'm hanging out there with some friends. We look over and this man brings this massive snake and he's
Oh,
just chilling there with a
come
snake
on.
around his neck.
This sounds like the word. You got Chiefs there, men.
Yeah, all of this is
I'm checked
nonsense.
out, dude. You kidding me?
It's
Did you think of a
great.
worse Sunday? My
It was
God.
fantastic, except for this man then takes the snake and lays it on the concrete.
Whoa.
And there's a ton of children there.
Oh my
And
God.
so my friends are all parents and they're watching their kids. And one of them wanders off and gets probably like a foot away from the snake.
No.
And somebody sprints over and grabs him. The snake didn't do anything. But still,
Oh.
I was like, why would you? Is that legal? Can you legally just be chilling with a
No,
snake?
that man needs
Yeah,
to be arrested.
Sure, but I would be very.
That snake
Yes.
needs to go to jail.
Okay, so
He's
these
done.
two guys were fishing in India, and a tiger came out of the woods at
Oh
them,
my god.
grabbed one of their bags. I think it was full of fishing tackle, and took off. But just look at how
Hold on.
like
It's
they're
just
pointing at it,
stealthy.
and you can't see it. They're pointing at it, and you can't see it until it moves.
The-
Once it moves, you're like, oh yeah, that's what it was.
That's so cool. Terrifying.
Yep.
Did he have ranch in his bag or something?
Cool Ranch Doritos, perhaps.
That's the Super Bowl commercial for Doritos this year.
Just put
There you
If
go.
they had a
if they
if they
still
had
did
a
the
brain.
competition thing.
Yep. And then just because we talked about it a couple of weeks ago with Austin and I, with jaguars killing crocodiles and caimans, they
gosh.
bite right through their brain pan
Oh,
because they have such a strong bite.
smart.
But I saw those eyes. The first thing I thought of, Brutus looks at me like that sometimes.
Oh, dude.
Like he legitimately looks at me with those eyes. I wonder if he's
He's
thinking
plotting your
about
demise.
trying. Like I taught him a few lessons along the way. Like no. Like,
Please stop.
Maybe-
mister. No.
the most recent one, and I don't know. I
no.
think I told this story on the podcast, but maybe not. He wouldn't get out of bed one morning, like 5 or 6 months ago. He just wouldn't do it, and I had to get here. I'm like, hey, we have to go outside. So I was like trying to get him off, and he growled at me.
I don't want to go to school.
Right,
Mom.
basically, he was just he was
Yeah, 5
tired
more
and he was
minutes.
being grumpy. So I went and got his collar and I put it over his head. And as I put it over his head, he started growling, and then I'm pulling him, and he snarled at me. He went, and I took my hand like right here, and I shoved it up against his teeth,
Yeah.
and he's snarling like the whole time, like, and
Yeah.
I'm like, nope, I'm like
We're
like,
working
we're figuring this out right now. You bite me, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I just held it there, and eventually he just went.
You know what I
Just
do?
gave up.
I'll just not that. That's what I'll do that. No, I'll look at my dog and
Like,
I
I'll
go,
just
she'll get like I have the opposite problem. My dog won't go to bed. She'll like lay
Mm-hmm.
on this concrete slab and she's like, now this is where it's at. I go, no, you got to go over here. You got to go over here. Otherwise, I can't go to my room. So she's just like, no. I go, please. And then I'll try to lift her up, and then she like goes to snarl and growl and wants to. I stop. I go, what are you gonna bite me? Come on, you're not gonna bite me. And she goes, oh yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Okay.
So
Brutus,
I go the opposite way. with
right?
it.
How big is Maine?
You know, it's a big. They're as big as they feel. You know,
No, that's not accurate.
teeth hurt. You're talking about snakes. Maybe she has venom. We don't know what border collies are about.
It
dude.
is. I have a 200+ pound animal that I cannot like think it controls.
You take your
things,
precious dog,
or he will do whatever he wants.
And I mean
Like he
that.
has to understand that I say things, he does them, or I'm in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. You. I told you as soon as you got that dog, I go, what are you doing?
Dude,
What?
How big's it gonna
How
get?
big's he gonna? Yeah, dude, you kidding me?
Yeah, my next dog's gonna be a bull mastiff. They're about 50 pounds lighter, and
Mm.
they are like goofy and friendly.
Oh,
Love that.
Like I need a
It's perfect.
goofy, friendly dog, not this.
You need a Gruber.
There is a guy, and I've told the story again, who leaves treats for that dog every day. Leaves treats for my dog every day. My dog watches him put down the treats sometimes and then goes over and eats them. He was pulling me down the driveway to attack the guy
Oh man.
like 4 days ago. Like he was just like, nope, not today. And Lamar knows about it, so he's just backing up. But
You know how they say dogs are their owners?
I'm not like that.
You
No, what we were just talking about. You're not an aggressive person
Right.
unless you need to be.
He doesn't need to be.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Maybe you're
No,
that
Lamar-
guy is.
No.
You
No.
need
Lamar's,
protecting.
Lamar's awesome.
Okay.
My other dog loves him.
Okay.
Brutus doesn't like the fact that he wears a hat that goes all the way around. Like, that is legitimately what it is. He hates his hat.
He probably thinks he's going to steal his treats that are always there.
He's
What
taking
are you
treats.
using
Like,
that brim for?
he
Hiding
can
treats.
throw treats to Brutus and he'll eat them. He's seen him put them down, like, no treats. There's my hand.
Your
There are
dog's not very
treats.
bright. He probably can't do
He
long.
is not
can't do
very
long
bright.
division
Yeah,
either.
He
So
definitely
it's like-
can't figure things out. All right, guys. We will see you next week.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to waltons.com. To get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at meatgistics.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.